Hi, my name is Deneen, and I'm going to start with a little story time today about my coworker and her experiences with animals this year. We have an apartment building right behind our row of classrooms. And one day she noticed several students kept having to go to the bathroom. Like, two students left, and then another one, and then another one. This is just more than usual. What is happening? And they kept not coming back. So she opened the door to go outside to check things out, assess the situation, and she found her students huddled on the ground. What is happening? Mice, dying mice. Evidently, they had put out some kind of poison in the apartment building, and the little mice had escaped to her classroom area and had just given up at that place, and her students had gone and were deciding to try to save the mice. They were petting them. They were trying to do what medical knowledge they had with these mice. She about lost her mind. Okay, that is enough, right? But let me tell you what happened this week. So we just gave our MAP test. I don't know what standardized assessment do you give at your school? We give the MAP. And so one of her little angels went to the bathroom. Oh, and I need to start by saying we here in California have finally gotten the rain that we have so desperately needed. It's beautiful here in California right now. Green everywhere. It's just gorgeous. But it had been raining that morning, and he went to go to the bathroom, but he came back with a worm and dropped it on one of his classmates' computers. The map is given on the computer. And the class, well, this student went into chaos. The class went into chaos. Can you imagine the chaos that ensued during that map testing? Oh, animals in the classroom for my friend have been a challenge. Well, I'm so glad you're here today. I love teaching math, not because I'm so good at it, but for the very opposite reason, because math has been a struggle for me my whole life. And it is only in my adulthood that I have fallen in love with math. And I think that it gives me an advantage in teaching math because I understand what they don't understand. And I hope that you feel that way too. I've shared with you that I love teaching fractions and decimals. I could spend the entire year on fractions and decimals. And I wish that I had at least half a year to just spend on those two subjects. But there are other standards to teach as well. But a few weeks ago, I did a video on, it was comparing fractions, it was comparing fractions war. And I shared that I wanted them to not only do that exercise to see, the inequalities, but I wanted to get inside their brains to see what strategies they were using, because I've taught them 6 different ways to compare fractions. When I was in school, maybe you too, we had one way, and that was to make everything a common denominator, and then you could compare. And I truly believed that that was the only way. The way to compare fractions, make them common denominators, and then you can compare. How exciting it has been for me and my students to learn so many other different ways. And there's a whole video on those different strategies. But what I had them do the last time we played the game is I had them make a piece of paper and say, we wrote out all the different strategies. Hannah wrote 7 and 8 and left it blank. I'm wondering if she's thinking, oh, are there going to be other strategies? Surely there will be other strategies to compare fractions. And I use this like as an assessment. Hannah did not use decimals at all. She thought about it 7 times. I had them make a tally mark by each time they did a strategy. And I've taught them, when you look at 2 fractions to compare, you have to think, what is the best strategy for this one? I don't want them using the same strategy for each one. She didn't do butterfly, number line, or models at all, but she used she did models one time. She used her manipulatives one time. And then two times, she used the improper fraction strategy. You know, if it's an improper fraction, then it has to be bigger than 1. I just wanted to share a few with you. This student wrote them, Joseph wrote them this way. And he liked the decimal strategy using the calculator twice. Look how many times he did thinking about it. Look how he did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's the only student. I need to tell him. He's the only student that used every single strategy. Decimals. Oh, no. This is butterfly 5 times. I can't see. I need to put my glasses on. But I can see this is the improper fraction. He used 7 times. He used every single strategy. I have to make a big deal about that. Oh, this is Jackson. He used a variety of the strategies too. Thinking about it, butterfly, and improper fraction. He did not use the fraction blocks, which is interesting because he loves to use them. Number line, and he didn't use the decimal strategy at all. Another student here, this is London. Look how many times she just thought about it. You know, 1 out of 4, 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5 is almost 1, 1 out of 4 is just barely anything. She just thought about it. Butterfly, look, she even drew a butterfly. She did not use number lines or fraction blocks. She really stood by her thinking about it and butterfly strategies. Noah used 3 different strategies: thinking about it, butterfly, and fraction blocks. They all had the fraction blocks, but for some reason, I'm thinking, you know what I'm thinking? The more comfortable they get with this, the less they'll use the fraction blocks because they're thinking about it more. Look at Mika. Oh, thinking about it 6 times, butterfly, 4 times fraction block, 2 times. And then Mofe Olua, 1, 2, 3, 4. He used 4 strategies. Turning it into a decimal using the calculator, thinking about it, butterfly, and fraction blocks. But the creme de la creme, I have to show you what these 3 students did. You know what anchor charts are, right? They made anchor charts. I said, I hope you're not planning to get these things back because they're mine now. Look what Jet did. Doesn't this look like something that could be sold on Teachers Pay Teachers? He didn't keep track of what he did, but he made his strategies with such meaning. I'm thrilled. Look at Amelia K. She made anchor charts. I could sell these. She could sell these. And finally, Sarah. Sarah was the first one who brought it up to me. She made an anchor chart of the decimals, of butterfly. What does it mean? Look, thought bubble for thinking about it. She drew number lines with fractions on it. The manipulatives, you know, those blocks I've been showing you over and over again. And then the improper fraction. This is what I'm finding, and I really don't have an explanation for it yet. But the less I use our textbooks, the more creative the students are getting. I don't see them ever coming up with anything like this if we had been doing workbook pages. Now, when I say I don't use the textbook, I do use the textbook in that I will have them, I will use the problems from the textbook in my lessons, and for their practice, I will use. But it is rare that we go and take out our textbook and open it up and do just a worksheet straight from there. Because I think that somehow their creativity is stifled when they're doing just worksheet pages. This is so rich to me that it's very exciting. So I just had to share that with you today. And I hope that you are well And I really look forward to being together with you again very soon. If you've heard some little dings or noises coming in the background, that's because wonderful Stanley is making breakfast for me right now. So I'm going to say goodbye to you so that I can go enjoy. I think he made avocado toast, but I'll see you very soon.